back and handcuffed, Damien laid down into a wooden box in a 10-foot deep hole, outdoors. A group of assistants then dumped sand into the hole as Damien had only 90 seconds to escape. Around 60 seconds into the act, the camera feed of the box was cut off and his wife started screaming for someone to save him. Finally, when the time ran out, one of the assistants who was dumping sand removed his cap to reveal himself as Damien, thus stunning the judges and audience around. Locks. The handcuffs were not real and they did not require a key to lock and unlock it, and he was free to go in and out of the cuffs without a key. Also, if you see, he didn't ask the judges to check the locks for its authenticity. So the way he escapes out of those handcuffs was just to move his arms in a certain way and they became unlocked. Once he got out of the cuffs, all he did was to remove those chains from his body using his free hands. But still, how did he get out of the grave? There was no way out, you'd say. Well, the grave contained more than just that deep hole for his escape. The 10-foot hole that we see is actually a part of a tunnel. Yes, as you can see in this illustration, there's a secret tunnel built underground and it forms a U-shape when connected with the hole. The judges were seated on one side of the tunnel, while there were concrete pipes placed at the other side of the tunnel. So the grave in which Damien was buried alive was actually the entrance of the tunnel instead of just a grave. Even though the audience and the judges were looking towards the hole, they had no idea about the secret entrance point. Now Damien goes inside the box and the assistants place the box cover. He is then covered with sand, and as soon as the camera feed is cut off, he frees himself from the cuffs and chains and slips out of the trap door that's built into the side of the box. So the trap door leads him into the tunnel and he crawls to the other end to escape out safely. Now you'd think, why didn't anyone see the mouth of that tunnel? Well, the entrance of the tunnel was at the base of the hole, and since the hole was 10 feet deep, it wasn't possible for the judges and the razor blade swallow act. This dangerous-looking act was performed on America's looked like real blades. So he put those pre-processed blades in his mouth, which are even available online for purchase. Also, all these razor blades which he swallows were already tied together by a string, which Tanba hides it behind his fingers. Now, the paper which he ate thereafter is also fake. It's an edible paper coated with a layer of glucose, and anyone can eat it. In the final part, where exactly did he bring those blades back from? Well, when the magician pretends to drink the liquid, here he uses this moment to spit the first few blades, which were real ones, into the bottom of the glass. Also, if we look at the bottom of the glass, we can see the razor blades. Unfortunately, the cup was not opaque enough to hide those blades. Now the magician is only left with the prepared blades which he had concealed in his right cheek. Also, the string which he put in his mouth, he hid under his upper lip. Finally, it was time to give the string a pull as he moves the blades towards the center of his tongue one by one. This would then reveal the pre-prepared second batch of blades that were hiding in his mouth all along, which amazes everyone around. So, how did he do it? Well, here's the secret. And you can easily figure it out once you know the inner workings of the coin. Yes, the trick involves a gimmick coin used by David. The coin is made up of two parts held together by elastic bands, and it has the mechanism to be folded so it looks like one half of the coin has disappeared. David first secretly swaps the original coin for the gimmicked special one, and then acts as if he's biting it while he actually just folds it. Then he shows the rigged coin to the ladies, and then just acts to spit the missing piece back. During this act, he simply lets the folded half of the coin jump back into its original place. And that's how the magic happened. At number 6, So finally, the last, but a very interesting trick on our list, the French bread illusion. Now, this magic trick performed by Wang Yifeng is from a different universe. In this trick, he takes a piece of dough and then folds it, as he massages it slowly, leaving the people in the restaurant waiting eagerly to see what the dough would turn into. All of a sudden, he surprises the crowd by pulling out a long piece of bread known as a French baguette out of nowhere. So, how did he magically transform the dough into a long loaf of bread? Well, let's figure out the secret. This trick grabbed a lot of attention worldwide when it was first shown on YouTube and various social platforms. Even the news channels weren't far from revealing what's behind the trick. One assumption was that there's a tube inserted into the wall, and the loaf of bread was fed through that tube and into the magician's arm. Now, this is not possible as he is sitting quite far from the wall behind him. While this assumption turned out to be a hoax, he just keeps on producing new frogs. So, how did he do such an insane act? Now, most of the stuff David performs has got to do more with endurance and skills rather than manipulation and stuff. So, the only secret here has got to be lots of practice and extreme endurance. And before the filming began, David had to actually swallow all those frogs, holding them in his stomach's esophagus before releasing them. Now, you must be wondering, how is this possible? This performance was inspired by an earlier act by the famous 1930s regurgitator Haji Ali. So, it's all about mastering and gaining control of your stomach muscles. And this is exactly what David practiced for almost 6 months before shocking us all with his superhuman ability. So guys, hope you got the secrets behind David Blaine's greatest magic tricks. Is Blaine the greatest entertainer of all time? Drop us a comment below. And which topic would you like to see next?